So you're considering it. You're thinking about taking that next big step. You want to enter parenthood. All right, welcome to the club. Let's talk, because there's no guidebook for this. You got to figure this out all on your own. Hi guys, if you are new here, my name is Karissa. Welcome to my channel. I talk lifestyle, development, well-being, healthy, all kinds of different stuff. So sit down, relax, hit the subscribe button. You're part of our community now. And if you're a returning subscriber, babe, I'm so happy to have you. You are what keep me going. All 27 of you. I love you guys. So today we are talking parenthood. And I feel qualified to talk about this because I am a parent. Ta-da! And I feel like parenthood gets either glamorized or trashed in today's social media. And there's no real middle ground. So I figured I would put my 2 cents in as a person who has really always wanted to be a mom. I've always imagined myself being a parent. I knew it was something for me. Before I got pregnant with my daughter, I was kind of really in that position where I was thinking about having one. She was perfectly timed for me. But that's kind of the key thing for me. And I feel like a lot of people don't have the honest conversation with other women, especially young women, about what being a mom really means. Society kind of tells us that this is what we're supposed to do. It's just something we're born with, this natural ability to be maternal and loving and caring and nurturing for another human life. It very rarely shares the gravity of what that means, how much work it is going to be a parent, how it doesn't necessarily come natural for everyone. I want to give you a different perspectives and some things to think about before you decide to enter into this journey. Whether you've met someone and you guys are getting serious and you're really considering parenthood with them, maybe you're thinking about doing the solo mom thing, a single mom by choice. Maybe you're not sure at all if motherhood is for you before you even have a partner and you just want a different perspective. Let's talk. I have some things to share. So first thing to think about, let's talk about some of the darker sides of parenthood, some of the tougher things. You have to remember that the person that you've decided to be with and you've decided to have this kid with is now going to be your co-parent for the next 18 years. This is a long commitment, okay? It is almost 20% of your life that you are choosing to spend having to co-parent with someone. What does that mean? That means you need to choose wisely. That means you need to choose for the worst case scenario. You need to think about, if me and this person were to break up, are we going to be able to establish good co-parenting relationship? Are things going to be okay if we are not okay? Now, Chris, you might be like, Chris, that's super dark. Like, I came here to talk about parenthood. Yeah, a big part of parenthood is who you're parenting with. And if you do not have a good co-parent, this gets really tough. It means you don't have support, mental, financially, fit. All of the things that make parenting hard get even harder when your co-parent is a jerk. This goes for both men and women. It does not matter. If you have seen a man with baby mama drama and you have seen a woman with baby daddy drama, you don't want this for yourself. So my first thing about going to parenthood is making sure you choose your partner wisely. I also want you to remember that the person that you are choosing to be with and the person you are choosing to have this child with, you are going to get 50% of all of their goodness and all of their badness. You are going to get 50% of all of their dark, evil traits in a little body that you are supposed to love till the end of time. I need you to remember that, because you have to figure out if the child you want to make, the person that you're with, if you want those ingredients for this cake. Because if you are working with spoiled eggs, that cake is not going to come out good. And I just want to be honest with you, babe, because I'm never going to lie. You have to know what you're getting into. My mother used to say, pick for your children, because people's trauma and baggage and addictions and issues get poured into their children. So you have to be mindful of who you are bringing life into with and what you are creating with. Now let's focus in a little bit more on the actual kid. Big thing to remember is patience. I want you to imagine your worst day. Picture it. Do you have it in your mind? Okay, now I want you to imagine a child asking you questions every 10 minutes during it. Like clockwork. Mommy, can we go get food? Mommy, I want French fries. Mommy, what are we doing here? Mommy, can we do this? Mommy, I want to go home tomorrow. Mommy, can we... I need you to play a baby crying on repeat for about an hour and see how your mental capacity goes. Because that is what parenthood is really like. Baby, it is not easy. It is tough. These kids require real love and attention. So you got to make sure that you are mentally prepared with patience for this child. I think some people kind of tell this story like, oh, it gets built in, you build. No. I have the same amount of patience that I had before I had my daughter. I practiced patience before. It was a skill that I genuinely feel I have built. Do not think that you are magically just going to get blessed with patience once you push a baby out. Because it doesn't come. There is no gift of patience. You are going to work for that. And speaking of which, to double back a little bit, that's why it's another important reason to pick a good partner. Because you are going to be in the trenches. Children are demanding. You are going to lose sleep the first 2 years. I did not sleep a full 8 hours until my daughter was about 3 years old. I woke up every 3 to 4 hours, whether it was to make milk, to cater to her, to change a diaper, something. You want to make sure you have a partner who's ready to be in those trenches with you, especially if you are going to be a stay-at-home or a trad wife kind of situation. You need to have a person that understands that, yes, while they go to work from 9 to 5 or whatever it may be, you are at work from the moment that baby opens their eyes until they go to sleep. And in the middle of the night, if they wake up, you have to clock back in. You never get a break from your work. So you need to make sure you have a partner who understands that and is willing to clock in with you and do the diapers, do the 3 a.m. feedings, do the bath times, do the reading, who's going to come home from work and realize that they too have a second shift of parenthood and they're not free from that. You can be a trad wife, be whatever you want to be. I am a complete feminist. I want you to be who you want to be. But I also want you to be safe. And I want you to be in a healthy, secure relationship. And a lot of women don't realize who they're with until they get into a very challenging situation with that person. So pick wisely. Now, beyond patience, I think it really goes without saying that these kids are expensive. My daughter is the most expensive thing I've ever done. Whatever you are spending, I need you to double it. On groceries, times 2. You think you spend a lot on gas? Wait till you're dropping them off to school every day, back and forth. You think you spend a lot of money on clothes or shoes? Wait till you have to buy shoes for someone who's constantly growing. It is a money pit. I love her, but she takes away quite a lot from my vacation funds. So I want you to also be financially prepared for what a child is going to cost. I know people might tell you, oh, people make it on less. Yeah, but do you want to? Do you really want to make it on less? I could also eat Spam every day, but I don't. We all make choices. So the last thing I would warn you about entering parenthood is that you're going to need a community. Community is so crucial, and without mine, I really think I really wouldn't be able to do what I do now. I wouldn't be the mom I am. I wouldn't be able to work as hard as I do. I wouldn't be able to pour into other endeavors if it wasn't for my community. Now, I'm not saying your community has to be an entire crew of 20, 30 people. Honestly, my community basically lives in this house with me or is my best friend. And they are the more important thing than quantity, as per usual, is quality. I call my best friend my baby daddy as a joke because when I need something, I genuinely call her and I say, hey, can you do this for me, or I need help? And she always helps me. And it's vice versa. When she needs to drop her daughter off, or she needs some time to de-stress, or she has to do some errands, I tell her, give me the baby, I got it. You need a community to help you get through the challenges of parenthood. It seems silly to say, but one day you're going to want a nap. You're going to need 2 hours. And if you don't have a community, you're not getting them, because that baby is not going to just be like, oh, mommy's tired. Let me leave her alone and watch my iPad. Nah, babe, it's not happening. You need a community who's going to pick that baby up or say, go in your room, shut the door, I got it. This community piece is something we've gotten away from culturally and is so crucial to have as you step into parenthood. So if this is something you want to pursue, I recommend starting right now, building your community. Who are your grandparents that are going to babysit? Who's the best friend that's going to come over and hang out with you when you are exhausted and just need some human companionship that's over 21? Who are these people in your life that you are going to be able to lean on when things get tough? Now, I've said a lot of things that can be viewed as negative about being a parent or being a mom. And I want to stress that there are negatives, that this is not the easiest thing you will ever do in the world. It is not natural for a lot of people, or for most people. There is no guidebook on how to be a good parent, and a lot of us are coming from parents who didn't know how to be parents either. So we are all learning. So I'm not going to romanticize it. I think society tells people like, have kids, do this, and a lot of us don't. Like, we all don't need to be parents. It's unnecessary. Somebody's got to be the cool auntie. Somebody's got to be the cool uncle that stops by the house with gifts. Like, I love Lily's uncles. They send presents. They stop by. We hang out. They chill. They entertain my kids, spin her around, do a little, and then leave. I love that for them. I love that they get to just like pick up and drop off and go home and enjoy their life. Do not be pressured into thinking that having a kid is what you have to do. You only should do this if you really want to. If this is something that you feel a calling for, you feel in your spirit you need to do it. But if you are hesitant, you are questioning, don't do it. Babysit. See if it's for you. Like, intern as a parent. Ain't nothing wrong with a babysitter, okay? So even though there are a lot of negatives or downsides or difficulties, whatever you want to phrase them as, I do want to reiterate that there is a huge major positive. And one of them is that my daughter is genuinely the best thing that's ever happened to me. I could not imagine a world that she's not in. I would cross oceans. I would move mountains. There is nothing I wouldn't do to make sure that she had the best life ever. And not only has being her mom helped me in the sense of like being a better mom, like I've got to experience what that's like, but I've also got to be a better person because of her. Because she has raised my own standards in what I want from my life and who I date and the world I live in, what I do. I view my life completely different because of her. She is my greatest blessing. I would trade it all to have this again. And if this is something that you do decide to pursue and you do decide to become a parent and it is what you want, you will smile just as much as you cry. Way more smiles, actually. Because there is no better feeling than your child saying, I love you. There are few feelings like when they're scared and they reach for your hand. I have endorphin rushes every time my daughter goes, Mommy, you're the best. Like, it's worth it if this is what you want. So, royalty, I hope you gain something from this. If you are thinking about being a parent, if you're nervous about being a parent, I hope this kind of gave you like some reality to it. I don't want to, I'm never going to lie to you, babe. I'm always going to keep it 100 with you. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this for you. We do this for each other. So when you like, I know you want more of this kind of stuff. And when you leave comments, I know you really like it, okay? So don't be scared to leave your opinion. I want it. So don't forget, you know the drill. If you haven't heard it today, you are loved, cared for, and thought of. Bye, royalty.